Okay, Miss Mary, I'm finally getting around to looking at your dryer.
That's great because a lot of times people say, "Oh, Glenn's working on all these projects. That must be all the honeydew list." They have nothing to do with anything that
You've
I'm
been talking
interested
about
in.
for about a year.
Yes. Okay.
All right, tell me the problem.
All right. Washer and dryer came with the house. They've been used. They're working fine.
Year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. Open up this dryer.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the, I don't know, filter, vent cleaner thing. This, you pull it out. I've already bought 2 of these because I have to clean this off. I just clean it off, pull the stuff off, put it back in. I have 2 extras of these. The one that was here was absolutely disgusting when we moved into the house. So you go on Amazon, you put in the model number, you get this. Okay, got this. Now, after I do laundry, when I pull this out, this will be full. I can clean this out, and I could clean it out even better if I was a perfect person. But then this, oh, look at this. Look at this. You can see all this stuff in here. You can see all the stuff that's inside of here. And, oh, here's the other handy thing I bought on Amazon, which is totally useless, is this. Do you see this?
Yeah.
So I kind of swirl it around in there, then I pull it out, then stuff gets all over me, and it doesn't really do the whole job.
And did you try to do something yourself?
Yes. So people have told me about that you could just go in here like these. I could just undo these screws. Maybe undo these screws, like somehow take this whole, see this whole rim here?
Yep.
Take this whole thing out and then get all that stuff out of there. And then, of course, I'd like to get all the way out to the outside. I have gone from the outside in and pulled junk out of there by hand when you're not looking. So somehow there should be a way to pull this out, and YouTube people, Instagram people talk about you could just pull it out, clean this up. This is disgusting in here.
Okay.
So that's what I need help with.
I'm on it. Okay, what I think we're dealing with here is I don't see any way this plastic liner separates. I'm going to try to take this front off. I see 2 Phillips head screws underneath here, here and here. So I'm going to take those out to start. Pretty long. There's one. Oh, that one's tight. All right, so the proper tool to get this screw that's not backing out easy. The proper tool would be an impact screwdriver, but because I'm on crutches, I think my impact screwdriver is out in my shop. Had some ankle surgery, so I'm just going to try to tap this with a hammer while I'm turning it. Actually lifting up on the dryer. All right, that's broken free. I think because these are such long screws, I didn't strip it too bad. All right, now this will lift up. And it looks like there's two, maybe 1/4 inch hex head screws here. It looks like it holds this front on. So I'm going to take those out next and see if I can get that front off. All right, so I just have a towel in here propping this up, and these are the 1/4 inch hex head screws, one on either side, so I'm going to back those out. sheet metal screws. So a lot of times they're in crooked, or they just, I guess, when they assemble them, they just self-tap. So sometimes they're a little tough to get out. Okay, so let's see if we can drop that thing back. Feels like it's connected on the bottom. And I think the only thing left holding us on is these wires. I think it just sits in, the bottom looks like it just sits in a little tab down there at the bottom. So I'm gonna figure out how to, this one looks like just a quick connect. That one is too, so. Get this thing out of the way and disconnect those. All right, the white one looks like it just pulls apart. And then this one behind here. All right, to get this plug disconnected from here, it's three-prong. This plastic cover, it's attached up here. I just pushed it back, but it's just a three-prong, and this piece pushes. You push down on this like that, and I used a little pick, and it was pushing down and pulling and wiggling, and it finally came out. So it was a little difficult, but that's how that clips in there. There's no clips on the sides. There's no clip in the back, so it's just this top and that clip. It'll be facing you on the top. Just got to get that pressed down and then pull it out. Okay, I think that's disconnected. Will this just lift out of here? There we go. So the door is off. And this is what I guess my wife was concerned about, this big wad of stuff here. This is the blower, a lot of stuff in there, the sucker, and then this looks like it's about 75% blocked. So maybe that'll come off there, I don't know. Let's see. Good news to be able to get this off here. All right, step one. So you got 3 connections that you have to disconnect. 1, 2, this pulls apart. This is a pain in the neck. You got to push this clip down, and then this one up top that I didn't see, that I just pulled loose. All right. Okay, so looks like these 4 screws, 2, 3, 4, at least these 4 are somehow holding this plastic piece on. So I'm gonna take those out. Just little short sheet metal screws. This is pretty awkward to work on with this door still hanging on here. I guess I could have taken that off to make it easier. guess I'll take these. Not sure where these two go, but I'll take them out. Those are tight. Okay, those are the word that rhymes with which to get out. Just a machine screw. They must have self-tapped, I don't know, but took me actually three screwdrivers to get them out, and I don't think I boogered them up too bad. That one's not. I'll be able to get them back in, but getting them back out might be a trick. I may search around my box to see if I get a hex head sheet metal screw this size, because that was tough for a crappy Phillips head and a crappy sheet metal, whatever this thing's made of. So, all right, I'll flip it over and see if I can get that cover off. I finally just took the door off. I should have done that to begin with. It's totally awkward to work on it with that door on. So first thing you do is take that stupid door off. Just these four little sheet metal screws, Allen head screws. So got that off, and I'm not wrestling with that thing anymore. All right, so this whole thing popped up, and I got one last screw, this ground screw on the side. It's gonna have to come out. Quarter inch, same as the other ones. I'm determined to get this thing off here. Let's see what it's all about. All right, so that's it. So I'm going to clean all this up, vacuum all this out. This is what my wife was concerned about, all this lint laying in here. But you probably could have got this fairly good without taking this whole piece off. It just entailed, I think, 4 more screws and 2 that were very difficult to get out. Okay, we got everything cleaned up, vacuumed out. I rinsed this. It was totally plugged with lint, and it was actually greasy. So chose to rinse it out with hot water, and I rinsed out the fan, or vacuumed out the fan. So that's all cleaned out. Got all the lint out of everywhere I could see. So yeah, it was pretty nasty. Definitely took water and a brush to get all the residue out of there. I don't know if it was unhealthy or not, but it was certainly needed to be cleaned. And since I went this far, I just decided to rinse it off and brush it down real good. So now we're going back with it. You have to make sure these this metal piece, side piece, is seated all the way down. That's where the screws go in. And then the 2 screws that were really hard to get out are just into plastic here and here. So yeah, I'll probably put a little silicone on those when I go back in with it. I'm going to snap this in and get that ground wire connected, that green, this one. That's the first thing that gets reconnected. All right, so to get this assembled, I popped this lower ring off so I get these 2 halves together, and then I'm just gonna tuck the whole ring back on these flanges. sheet metal pieces need to be tucked up in there. This should just sit right down in here. Tuck the side clips in and then tuck these end pieces in. And this little piece. All right, there it is. Now I need to get that ground wire back on over here, green. I think I'll put the screws in first to make sure the holes are lined up. I'm going to put these 4 little screws and the 2 big screws in. All right, going to put the 4 little screws in first. The plastic is lined up. Scoot it around until it centers over the hole. And these last 2, I'm going to go get some silicone and spray in these holes because these were a bear to get out. All right, little silicone spray. See if these go in any easier than they come out. I hope they do. I think they're just big for the hole, for the plastic post that they go into. I think that's where all the, man, that's hurting my hand, where all the extra torque is coming from. They probably might be better to drive them in with a screwdriver or electric. All right, those are in. I'm going to reconnect these two wires. This one is just the prong goes on top. Should go in easier than it came out. And then the white one just pops in. Like that. That little tab goes in the side. And then when I took this off, I didn't realize there was this wire on the top that has to be connected to. It just pulled loose when I pulled the door. All right, so I'm clipping this wire back in. No, just square on one side, round on the other. It's pretty intuitive how it goes back in. Hopefully I didn't break it when I pulled it loose accidentally, not knowing it was there. Should pop right back on. It needs to go over top of the tumbler or tub, whatever this thing's called. Tabs on the side here. A tab and a slot that you need to make sure you get the tabs in the slots when you're going back onto this, or you won't get these holes lined up for the 1/4 inch screw. Then after those 1/4 inch screws are in there, make sure the front is pulled forward and snapped down and it slots before you put those last 2 screws in here. And I still have the door off, so I'm going to put the door on last. Got one in, this is the second one. So I got the top screw started with the head sticking out, so these should drop over top of the screw. And sit down, and then we'll put the bottom screws in. I don't know, it might have been easier to put this door on, I don't know, right before I put this front panel on, but we'll see. All right, so the last thing, because this door was off, this switch isn't being made consistently. So it looks like, you know, I don't know whether this is the original install, but they put a bunch of foam here, sticky foam, to help raise that to make that switch. I'll put a piece of Velcro on there, and I'm going to stick the fuzzy part, then I'm sticking the other part with the sticky part on it to make that switch. And the door is sticking out a little bit down here. But I want it sitting down on the hinge nuts all the way down, or it's gonna work its way down by itself. So close that. All right, so we're good to go. How's it look?
It looks good. I'll just believe you that it got a lot of nasty stuff out of there.
I did.
Okay. Do you want me to check something, or do you want me to
Sure.
run a load of laundry?
Look in there.
Ah, that looks great. Nice.
It was filthy. Peace out. Hopefully this helps someone who has the same wants to do the same project.